Welcome to Science Pedagogics, Science Made Easier. Our today's topic is ozone layer, a very essential topic for environment.
Hello students, children. Do you know every year on 16th of September the World Ozone Day is celebrated. On this day in 1985, Antarctic ozone hole was discovered by three British scientists, Joseph Farman, Brian Gardner and Jonathan Shanklin. In 2020, we are going to celebrate 35 years of global ozone layer protection. Ozone is a gas which occurs in very small amount in various spheres of atmosphere. Atmosphere that surrounds the earth can be divided into basically four parts. First part, which starts from the earth's surface and just about 10 km, is called as troposphere, and the second sphere, which ranges from 10 km to 50 km, is known as stratosphere. In troposphere, ozone is created by chemical reactions between air pollutants from vehicle exhaust and gasoline vapors. And at ground level, high concentration of ozone layer is very toxic to human beings as well as plants. But if the ozone is present in stratosphere, then it covers Earth's surface as a blanket which protects all living beings from harmful ultraviolet rays coming from the sun. So we can say that ozone is harmful as well as useful, which depends in which zone, in which sphere it is present. Here are some of the facts regarding ozone. First, in 1985, Antarctic ozone hole was discovered by British scientists, and the maximum concentration of ozone is present in stratosphere. The total mass of ozone is 3 billion metric tons, which is equal to 0.00006%, or we can say 6 into 10 raised to the power minus 4% of the total atmosphere, which is a very small amount. The maximum concentration of ozone occurs at 15 to 30 kilometers above the Earth's surface. At this altitude, the ozone concentration is 15 particles per million, which is equal to 0.005%. Dobson spectrophotometer is a device which is used to measure the amount of ozone in the atmosphere. It was built by scientist. The name of the scientist was G.M.B. Dobson. And Dobson unit is used to measure the amount of ozone in atmosphere. It is the unit which tells the number of ozone molecules required to create a layer of pure ozone column. Means in that vertical column only ozone gas is present, and the thickness of that column is 0.01 millimeter thick at 0 degrees Celsius at 1 atmospheric pressure. When 220 Dobson unit is used as a boundary line for the study of ozone depletion, it means if the amount of ozone decreases from 220 Dobson, that it is a danger sign for all living beings. 220 Dobson unit is used as a boundary line. The total column of ozone values less than 220 Dobson was first observed in 1979, which indicates ozone depletion. To protect ozone, many conventions and many protocols are to be registered. In this sequence, the first convention is the Vienna Convention. It was adopted in 1985 for protection of ozone, and it entered into force in 1989. Whereas another protocol, Montreal Protocol, was signed on 16th September 1987, which is globally marked as World Ozone Day. It was designed to complete phase out of ozone depletion substances, which are also known as ODS. In 1956, British Antarctic Survey set up the Halley Bay Observatory on Antarctica in the preparation of International Geophysical Year, which was observed in 1957, and In this year, the ozone measurement begins. The ozone amount of ozone is measured by Dobson spectrophotometer, which is a device and it was built by CMB Dobson. Ozone is created by the reaction of sunlight and oxygen gas. When sunlight reacts with oxygen gas, it decomposes oxygen into atomic oxygen, which is also known as nascent oxygen. Nascent oxygen is highly reactive. It can't exist in the nature in free state. When it reacts with oxygen molecules which are present in stratosphere, then it forms one molecule of ozone. The ozone molecule absorbs ultraviolet rays and convert them into heat energy. It means they prevent ultraviolet rays to coming to the Earth's surface. But ozone is destroyed when it reacts with nitrogen, fluorine, chlorine or bromine gases. These gases are produced due to the excess amount of pollution. If we discuss about the ozone depletion in Antarctic and Arctic region, then in comparison to these two regions, ozone depletion is more in Antarctic region because Arctic region there is variable atmospheric conditions are present in northern hemisphere. Special meteorological conditions on these two regions change during winter and early spring, means the season in which the ozone depletion occurs is mainly related with winter and early spring season. As winter arrives, vortex of winds develop in polar regions and which isolates polar stratospheric ozone layer. In the absence of sunlight, the temperature goes to minus 78 degrees Celsius or below than that temperature. So at very low temperature, clouds of ice, nitric acid and sulfuric acid are formed. And after that one, a series of chemical reactions starts which destroys ozone gas. So the basic reason or basic cause of ozone depletion is due to the vortex of winds. Second one, formation of clouds of ice, nitric acid and sulfuric acid. All these activities, all these chemical reactions takes place in winter season in Antarctic region. In the beginning of spring season, when sunlight returns, then it starts photolysis of various gases. Photolysis means the photolytic decomposition of compounds in the presence of sunlight. And in this process, chlorine gas is formed, which also increases ozone depletion. Whereas in Arctic region, the circulation of vortex gases, these are less stable because the temperature of Arctic region is comparatively more. So the clouds of ice, nitric acid and various gases, they are not formed. In 1974, Mario Molina and Sherwood Rowland, which are the scientists of California, they published an article on threats to ozone layer from CFC gases. These CFC, the name full form of these means chlorofluorocarbon. These gases are basically used in aerosol sprays, inhalers, as well as a coolant in refrigerators and ACs. Ozone hole is not a hole, but exceptionally it is a depleted ozone in the stratosphere of Antarctica that happens in the beginning of winter, means we can say in August and to October month. Other gases which are responsible for ozone depletions are hydrochlorofluorocarbon, means HCFC. The full form of this one, hydrochlorofluorocarbon, halogens and methyl bromide. When these gases are replaced, when we compare the potential of these gases, then HFC means hydrofluorocarbon. HFC, hydrofluorocarbon, have ozone depletion potential near about 0. So out of all gases, HFC is much better. Now Kyoto Protocol, it was adopted in Kyoto, Japan on 11th December 1997, which commits to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Kigali Amendment, it is an international agreement to gradually reduce the consumption and production of hydrofluorocarbon, means HFC. The amendment was agreed on October 15, 2016 in Kigali, that is in Rwanda. What are the consequences of ozone depletion? First, malignant melanoma, that is related with skin disease or skin cancer, cortical cataract related with eye problems, squamous cell carcinomas, skin cancer, and increased production of vitamin D. Montreal Protocol was signed on 16th of September 1987, which is globally marked as the World Ozone Day, and it entered into force in 1989. It was designed to complete phase out of ozone depletion substances, and alternatives of chlorofluorocarbon, hydrochlorofluorocarbon and hydrofluorocarbons are now searched out. Developed countries completely phase out HCFCs by 2020, whereas developing countries are now following a stepwise reduction by 2030. At the end of 2018, UN confirmed in a scientific assessment that the ozone layer would be completely healed in non-polar northern hemisphere by 2000.
थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग. डू लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब. और अगर आपके पास कोई ऐसा टॉपिक है जिस पे हम वीडियो बना सकें आपके लिए, तो डू लेट अस नो इन द कमेंट बॉक्स.